Let's get right to the point and clear up some confusion you might have about home wiring. Can you safely put both lights and sockets on a single breaker? The answer is sometimes, but it depends on several important factors. You need to know exactly what you're doing, and you must follow the electrical code in your area, which is designed to keep you and your home safe. In some countries, like the United States, it's not allowed for most rooms because of strict safety regulations. In others, like the United Kingdom or Canada, it can be okay if you follow the right rules and don't exceed the recommended load. The main risk is overloading the breaker, which can happen more easily than you might think. Lights don't draw much current, but sockets can, especially when you plug in high-powered devices. If you plug in a vacuum, a space heater, or other heavy appliances, you could trip the breaker or even overheat the wires. That could start a fire, putting your home and family at serious risk. Also, if the breaker trips, you lose both lights and sockets at once, which can be a real problem. That can be a safety risk if you're left in the dark, especially on stairs or in emergency situations. That's why electricians usually keep lighting and sockets on separate circuits. They're thinking about your safety and convenience. It keeps your home safer, makes troubleshooting easier, and helps prevent accidental overloads. But sometimes combining them makes sense. If you're careful, follow the code and don't overload the circuit. Always check your local code first, because rules can vary a lot depending on where you live. If you're unsure, talk to a licensed electrician before you start any wiring project. Their advice can save you from costly mistakes. Remember, safety comes first, every time. Don't take shortcuts when it comes to electricity. You might wonder why anyone would want to combine sockets and lights on one breaker. There are a few reasons. First, it can save space in your breaker panel. If you're running out of room, combining can free up a spot for something else. Cost is another factor. Fewer breakers and less wiring means less money spent on materials and installation. This is common in small sheds, workshops or garages where you only need a few outlets and a light or two. Simplicity is also a reason. In small spaces, it's simpler to run one cable instead of two. In older homes, you might find circuits already combined because that was normal in the past. But remember, just because it's possible doesn't mean it's always the best idea. Weigh the benefits against the risks. If you combine circuits, do it for the right reasons and always put safety first. Before you do any wiring or even buy materials, you need to calculate the total electrical load for the circuit you're planning. This step is crucial for both safety and efficiency, and it helps you avoid costly mistakes down the line. This is the most important step in any electrical project, whether you're adding a single outlet or wiring an entire room. Calculating your load keeps you from overloading your breaker and wires, which can lead to dangerous situations like overheating, tripped breakers, or even electrical fires. Start by making a detailed list of every light fixture and socket you plan to connect to the circuit. Walk through the space and note each one so nothing gets missed. Next, write down the wattage of each light. You can usually find this printed on the bulb or fixture itself. For sockets, estimate the highest load you might plug in. Think about what appliances or devices you'll actually use. Don't just guess low. For example, a lamp, 60 watts, and a phone charger, 10 watts, are considered small loads, but they still add up. But a portable heater, 1500 watts, is a big load that can quickly use up your circuit's capacity. Add up all the wattages from your list to get the total expected load for the circuit. Let's say you have 3 LED lights, each rated at 10 watts, and you plan for 2 sockets, each possibly powering a 100-watt device at the same time. That's 30 watts for the lights plus 200 watts for the sockets, which gives you a total of 230 watts for the entire circuit. Now, divide this number by your household voltage, which is usually 120 volts in North America, or 230 volts in many other countries. For 120 volts, 230 watts divided by 120 volts is about 1.9 amps. This tells you how much current your circuit will draw. For 230 volts, 230 watts divided by 230 volts is exactly 1 amp. Always check your local voltage to be sure. Always add extra for safety. It's smart to plan for unexpected loads or future changes. Don't plan to run your breaker at 100% of its rated capacity, as this can cause nuisance tripping and reduce the lifespan of your electrical system. Use only 80% of the breaker's rated capacity for continuous loads. This is known as the 80% rule and is recommended by electrical codes for safety. So, a 15-amp breaker should only carry about 12 amps of continuous load. This margin helps protect your wiring and keeps your home safe from electrical hazards. Now that you know your total load, you need to pick the right breaker. In most homes, lighting uses a 15-amp breaker, and sockets use 15 or 20-amp breakers. The breaker must match the wire size. For 15 amps, use 14-gauge wire. For 20 amps, use 12-gauge wire. Never put a bigger breaker on small wires. If the wire overheats, it can't trip the breaker fast enough. That's a fire hazard. Always match breaker size to the thinnest wire on the circuit. For combined circuits, plan for the highest possible load. If you think someone might plug in a vacuum, 1200 watts, and turn on all the lights at once, size your breaker and wires for that. It's always safer to go one size bigger with wire, but never with breakers. If in doubt, go with a 20-amp breaker and 12-gauge wire. It covers most needs and gives a little extra safety margin. But don't guess, do the math first. Okay, so, ready to wire your circuit. Before you even touch a single wire, let's make sure you're set up for safety and success. First things first, start by turning off all power at the main breaker. This step is absolutely essential. Never skip it, even if you think the circuit is already off. Then, double check with a voltage tester. Seriously, you want to be sure. Test every wire you'll be working with, because sometimes circuits are mislabeled or wired in unexpected ways. Safety always comes first. No shortcuts here. Wear insulated gloves and safety goggles to protect yourself from accidental shocks or flying debris. Now run your cable from the breaker panel to the first device, whether it's a socket or a light. Plan your route carefully to avoid sharp bends or potential damage to the cable. Make sure you use the right size cable, just like we discussed earlier. Using the wrong gauge can lead to overheating or even fire hazards. Most home circuits use a shared neutral. That's the white wire, and a ground, which is green or bare. These wires are crucial for safe operation and must be connected properly. You need to connect all grounds together and make sure every box is grounded, no exceptions. This step protects you and your home from electrical faults. For sockets, connect the black or hot wire to the brass screw and the white or neutral to the silver screw. Double check your connections before tightening everything down. For lights, the same rules apply. Always match the wire colors and secure them firmly to the correct terminals. Keep all your connections tight and cover them with wire nuts or terminal blocks. Loose connections can cause arcing and are a common source of electrical fires. Don't leave any wires exposed ever. Every connection should be insulated and tucked safely inside the box. If you need to split the circuit for more lights or sockets, use junction boxes. They keep your wiring organized and accessible for future changes or repairs. Never overstuff a box, that's just asking for trouble. Overcrowded boxes can overheat and make troubleshooting a nightmare. Leave enough space for wires and connections to fit comfortably. Neat wiring isn't just about looks, it's about safety and ease of maintenance. And finally, label the breaker in the panel clearly, something like lights and sockets, room name. This makes future work much easier and safer for everyone. That way, you always know what's what, and anyone working on your system in the future will thank you for your attention to detail. Balancing your load is key. You really want to spread your sockets and lights evenly. Don't put all sockets on one end and all lights on the other. This helps stop one part from getting overloaded. Never use a combined circuit for heavy appliances. Don't plug in a microwave, space heater, or air conditioner on the same breaker as your lights. These draw a lot of current and can trip the breaker or overheat wires. Tell everyone in the house what's on that circuit. If you lose power, you don't want to be left in the dark while using a power tool or a hairdryer. Use stickers or labels on the sockets as a reminder. If you're unsure about the load, use a plug-in watt meter to check what each device uses. Stay under your 80% safe limit. If you need to run heavy devices, add a separate breaker just for them. Many DIYers make the same errors when combining circuits. Overloading is the most common mistake. People forget how much current a vacuum or heater pulls, and suddenly the breaker trips, or worse, wires get hot and melt. Another mistake is using the wrong wire. Don't use 14-gauge wire on a 20-amp breaker. The wire can't handle that much current. Loose connections are dangerous too. Loose screws or poorly twisted wires can spark and start a fire. Don't forget about grounding. Every box and device needs to be grounded. Skipping this can cause shocks and more serious risks. Finally, never hide junctions in walls or ceilings. Every splice must be in an accessible box. If you can't find a problem later, you can't fix it safely. Here are some key safety tips. Always turn off power before working. Use a voltage tester every time. Never guess about wire size or breaker ratings. Label every circuit clearly in your breaker panel. If something trips, you want to know what it affects. Take photos of your wiring for future reference. Keep wires neat and organized in boxes. Use wire staples to stop cables from moving. If you're ever unsure, call an electrician. It's better to spend a little money now than to risk your safety later. Double-check your calculations before connecting anything. Follow your local code at all times. Codes are written to protect you and your home. Don't cut corners. It's never worth it. So can you put lights and sockets on one breaker? Yes, you can. If you do the math, use the right materials, and follow best practices. It's legal in some places and can be safe for small spaces like sheds or workshops. The key is not to overload the circuit. Always use the correct breaker and wire size. Never connect heavy appliances to a combined circuit. Follow every safety step and check your local electrical code. If you're new to wiring, take your time. Don't rush. Double-check every connection and don't be afraid to get help from a pro. Your safety and your home are worth it. Remember, good wiring is invisible and dependable. Do it right, and you'll never worry about it again.